ever.
It's so interesting because I know you pretty well,
Yeah.
and there's so many sides to you that a lot of YouTube doesn't see.
Yeah.
There is the YouTube side, the good morning, Jake Paul, just like I have the hey yo, good morning, Logan.
Yeah.
Like it's a part of us. There's the affectionate, emotional side of you, which I think is incredibly interesting. I think I'm most intrigued by your business savviness, which a lot of YouTube does not know about.
Yeah. That's honestly like how I feel about where I am positioned. Actually, now that you say it, is like I see myself as like the Jay-Z of social media with what I've done and like already, but where I will go in the future is pushing that narrative even more with like business, but also like being your own talent. And just like building like people around me and like an empire. Cause like, I don't want to just be like that, like fucking like YouTuber kid. And, that's why like I'm branching out and like other things, working on a ton of business stuff, like, which I've always done. And I've always been like super business savvy. But yeah, I guess that is like my brand, but again, that is like who I am. Like, I just want to build businesses. I don't want to just like be another fucking like Anthony Padilla that was like on Smosh. Like,
damn. I saw y'all had a little like
that's
back and forth on Twitter.
Yeah.
What happened?
He like hired my fans to be in a video and like made them look stupid to like for his video. Like, I don't know, it was just like the dumbest, most random video that came out of left field. And it just pissed me off because
I spent a day with Jake Paulers and their
yeah.
parents.
I grew up watching. We grew up watching Smosh, and it's like, oh, now this kid is like so.
I saw you tweet back at him saying that. Here, watch.
Yeah. How do you refer to yourself? Is it Jake Pauler or
Jake Pauler? If someone was like, oh, like you're Jake Pauler or something, I'd be like, yeah, sure. Like I wouldn't really take like the most pride in it.
Yeah.
But like I'd be like, yeah, sure. Like I watch his videos. Like I enjoy it.
Not Jake. Maybe just like a supporter. Maybe.
So he's just clowning these kids.
Yeah, and I'm sure like they didn't have any idea of like what they were like. Yeah, how the video was going to be edited.
Interesting.
Yo, he needs clout, bro. He needs views. You can just smell it.
It got 385,000 views.
Didn't work.
It didn't work.
Well, dude, he's bashing the people who are gonna support the video.
Yeah.
Like what? Not the best move.
It does suck because you said it, dog. Smosh was our biggest inspiration.
Yeah.
Growing up, our original channel was Zoosh.
Like literally a carbon clone of the
Carbon
name.
clone of Smosh.
Like, what can we name it? Zoosh.
It's funny how you find those people that you look up to once you
now
start
he's
making
talking
it, and
shit
you're
about-
like, what the? You're like,
You know, and now he like makes videos talking shit. It's like he inspired. Like, if anything, he's the reason why I'm like, no, like, you know, like doing YouTube.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, for real.
So it's like it's just weird.
It's an angst. I feel like that it's there's got to be some sort of psychological term for this. I would love to look this up and find out if it's true, but it's an angst of someone who once was becoming irrelevant and being angry that the new generation is being received more than themselves.
yeah,
It's like an old school vibe. Like
This
somebody
happens
that
in
just
rap a
can't-
lot.
Yeah,
rap
that's
all
what I'm
the time,
saying.
all
Like
the
they
time.
just can't get on the new vibe, so they talk shit about the people that did it better before them. Yeah,
Yeah.
or after them.
And I know I'll never become that person, and that's what I'm saying. That's why like you just like that's why I want to like actually like build like real shit from YouTube and use the platform to like to not only change the world but to like have a career, a long-term trajectory, and not just be like another one of these like YouTuber kids.
How do you think you do that through content, through what you're doing with music?
Well, the first I guess one very successful thing that I built with the platform, like just initially, like right off the bat, was the company called Fanjoy, with alongside of Chris.
Have you said this?
CEO
Have you said
Chris.
this before? Have you?
I don't think I have.
Have you come out publicly and let people know that you built Fanjoy with Chris?
I think I've said it once in a video somewhere, but I don't think it got like. I don't think people like paid attention to it.
They're gonna pay attention to this,
Yeah.
because there are a lot of motherfuckers on YouTube signed up to Fanjoy.
Yeah, there's like 65
including but not
people.
limited to.
Like who's on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
This is why like I'm so happy to say this. I don't even know who's on the platform. Like I couldn't tell you because I built the company, and like I know the big earners on it, but like Chris will like tell me like who's added, like he'll update me and I'll be like, oh shit, like that's dope. Like like the company's just growing and growing and growing.
David's on it.
Yeah, name a couple people that.
David
are on it.
David
Dobrik's
Dobrik. We do a lot of back end for people that like don't publicly say that they're on it as well, which I don't know if I'm like able to talk about who they are, but like, but yeah, we do a lot of like back end shops.
Let me get this straight. When David Dobrik sells a piece of merch, you're technically getting a cut.
I'm not. No, not like Fanjoy. Yeah,
But you
Fanjoy.
own
You have
part of the
equity in
company.
FanJoy. Yeah.
Yes. So it's building my equity.
Technically, yeah.
But that's why it's like,
You did it right, kid. Good for you.
Good job, Jakey.
yeah. Thanks, guys.
Damn.
But that's like one example of like, I was like, okay, like why, like, let's not just like sell merch. Like, let's build a business. Because I believe like, and to any influencer out there that's watching this, like, I believe that Fanjoy is the best company to do your merch with, because the roots of it are like from my heart and like what I wanted to create and like, and what sort of team I wanted there to be. And like how I wanted to be treated, I infused that into the company. And if anyone on the platform is unhappy, you need to call me, because I'm going to go beat Chris's ass. No, I'm joking. They do a great job. But yeah, I believe it. I really truly believe it's like top 3 best merch companies to be with.
What's the end goal there? Is Fanjoy going to get acquired for like $100 million, $200 million, and then you get a cut? When do you make your money?
Yeah, if the company gets acquired.
Is there interest?
Yeah, we went down the road with one buyer, like pretty deep down a road, but their number wasn't high enough for us, so we declined their offer.
Man,
Fuck, I'm good.
That's not
Gotta watch out, bro.
that's not the only time you did a business venture with multiple people. I want to ask you a little bit about Team 10.
Team 10. Here we go.
I'm done. I've been sitting here sweating. I'm starting to feel a little bit better.
We're trying to dive in.
The Vegas is starting to.
Bro, you know what's crazy
Hit me.
is like, I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface.
No, I'm
of
about.
anything
No,
that we
that's
talk
what I'm
about.
about to do.
Scratch.
We haven't scratched the surface of like where this podcast is even.
I'm about to do that. What's going on with Team 10? Or first of all, you're still talking to any of the people that were on Team 10?
Yeah, I talked to some of them.
Why did Team 10 not work?
I started the company at 18 years old. I had no idea what I was getting myself into from a business standpoint. It was the very first business I created. And that is what people saw with Team 10 was Jake Paul learning how to create business and do business and have relationships and like talk to people and build something into a massive thing. However, I was basically like, I was doing like all of it, a lot of it. And then, and I was talent. I was like CEO. It was my vision. And there was just so much going on that I couldn't control everything. And like, when I tried to like hire people in to like help out, they just weren't the right people. They didn't maybe know how to build the business any better than I did. And it just wasn't the right business team surrounding the talent, because as we know, talent have egos, right? Talent, and all of a sudden they start blowing up, they start making all this money, and I'm vlogging every single day. I don't have time to like be like, how are you doing? Like, is everything good? Like, what do you need from me? How can I support you? How are you emotionally? Like a lot of people on Team 10, each person has their own like very specific reason on why they left. There's not like a one thing that it always is. But
that's not the way that the media has portrayed it. The media's portrayed it as Jake Paul being the issue and being the reason why
100%.
everyone left. And that's not the case, right?
It's not the case. Like even some people, we were like, get off the team, but then the media still is like, oh, they left, you know?
Well, plus they make leaving videos.
Exactly.
Right? That kind of became
Why I
a
left
trend.
Team 10?
Yeah.
Classic. How many of them are doing Coco Loco Bright White Smile ads now?
Do you know about this whole whitening thing?
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time. This is the I don't even know
I'll
how.
say it.
All right, good.
Every employee that we've had at the Maverick House and everyone who has ever gotten an inkling of social media clout through me after they're done with the Team Maverick,
It is the next step.
the first post is
it
to do a
Coco?
teeth whitening,
Yeah.
fucking
Have
bright
the-
white
do you have
smile.
a do you have a ratio or like a number of teeth whitening?
I don't really the thing. A lot of them, no, I do.
Just looking
I do,
for a number.
when I do like check in on them, like sometimes just to see where they're at. Like, yeah, it's along those lines of those things. But honestly, like what I realized though is like like this is something that I had to realize is not everyone had the same vision that I did with Team 10. A lot of them are happy with doing those ads and just being a regular person versus like content every day. Let's grind. Let's make this a $100-200 million company. A lot of people can't hang with that. And then you like add in other shit like, oh, this person's actually in a relationship with this person. And then they get into fights. They are hooking up. They're like falling in love. They're breaking up, and then they don't want to be in that like same atmosphere. So like that adds to it.
Yeah, real life complexities.
Like real life complexities. Like like these. Oh, Jake, like we're like the Dobre twins. Perfect example. But they're crushing it. By the way, I'm so proud of them. Love those kids.
Man,
like my homies.
I really, they are crushing it.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy watching their videos because they are so bad. But that's why I like watching their videos. Like I'm so,
But it's that younger audience.
I
video.
know, but bro, it's just like,
Yeah.
I am so entertained by their content. Shouts to the Dober brothers.
The Doobie Brothers.
but like so like they were like one of the first people on the team, and then it's like I like was like wanting to grow the team, and I had this vision. I was like, okay, what if we get like another group of twins, and they'll like become friends. They'll like kind of like argue against each other. They'll kind of like have this thing like where they're like competing against each other, like doing different things, or like they're just like it's just like two groups of twins like would be dope, right?
And that was
I had this vision.
That was the Emilio
bring in
twins,
like
yeah.
the Martinez twins, and the Dober brothers are like, yo, we like that's bullshit. Like, because the Martinez twins started to like do better than them on Instagram, and like I don't know if that was like had anything to do with it, but they like didn't like that at all, and that was like part of the reason why they wanted to leave the team. So it's like it's just super complex, and like I wasn't able to manage the talent at the time.
Yeah. I remember being in the house. Like I originally met you, started working with Team 10. Like that was like my first
Yeah, I don't know if people know
social
that.
media like gig.
I don't know
out
if
here.
people know that. Like,
Yeah, I met Spencer through Jake.
yeah.
But when I was at the house, like one of the things that I actually really liked because I was older, but you had house rules, like you had things to stick to make sure people were, moving things forward. And I remember behind the scenes because I didn't just help you with videos, like I was helping all the people in the house with content.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I remember hearing people like bitch and complain about it every now and then. I didn't feed into it because I'm like, yo, dude, you're in a freaking mansion and you're living the life that millions of kids dream to live. So how did people deal with those rules?
Yeah, as a CEO, I was like, yo, we need to actually have a fucking real company, and this needs to be like real shit where we can scale it and grow it and be responsible. And I was like, what should we do? What does every company have? A mission statement. They have like like a commandments list of like what they abide by, what they stand for. And there was that on that. It was a sheet of paper, and there was that on the sheet of paper, and there was like rules like clean up after yourself.
No drinking,
No
smoking.
drinking.
Yeah.
Like ask Jake if you like are gonna have friends over, because it's like, oh, like I'd be in like the middle of a business meeting with an investor, and there would be like people like smoking like in the backyard, and like, oh, all of a sudden they have 10 friends over. It's like, guys, if they're an investor is sitting there like in a meeting with me, and they see like all this like chaos going down, they're gonna be like, oh, this is stupid. Like I'm not gonna
Give you my millions of dollars. And you had some big investors in Team 10. Wasn't Gary Vaynerchuk an investor?
Yeah.
Who else? Any big names?
More so like venture capital funds. But yeah, like super legit people that were backing it and still are backing it and like still support me. And I've learned like so much from all of that. But yeah, it was a crazy whirlwind of a ride that like obviously was like all over fucking social media, and there was obviously so much controversy
And
around
misunderstandings and gossip.
Yeah.
How much of those relationships drove a lot of your success? Like those relationships, your engagement with other people. Like, do you see your relationships with people like even as far back as like Alyssa Violet, and then of course with Erica, like how much of your success was driven not because of them, but through that collaboration and through that engagement with other people?
Yeah, I think like a really good amount. Like it was that was the idea. Like we're a team.
Yeah.
That's why like I called it that, because the original idea actually came from, and I don't know if I've really ever said this either, but I was 17 years old living I think at the broadcast center.
Yep.
And I had this idea. I was like, I'm going to start a clothing line and I'm going to get all the Viners to have equity in it. And we're all going to promote the clothing line all together, all the biggest Viners, and it's going to blow up like crazy. And I went to like all the biggest Viners and they were like, or like, I want 50% of the company, or I don't know, I'm kind of like doing my own, or like whatever. And no one was down for it. So I was like, I'm just going to make my own team of people so that like one day we can promote a product together and blow it up. Because the biggest thing I didn't see in social media was like creators working together to build a business. Like you see it all the time in other industries, because other people in other industries are actually like business savvy, like rap. Jay-Z's like, oh, I'm going to make title, and all you 40 rap musicians are going to get a little each piece of equity, and they get it because they're business people. They're older in the social media space. Everyone's like, oh, no,
I don't know about that.
I don't know. Like, I don't want to do that. Like my audience wouldn't like when I promote that, or like whatever it is.
I think it's just an ego thing, and everyone has their own agendas.
Exactly.
Everyone has different goals, wants to do different things, and quite frankly, most of the time they think they're the best.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like a lot of, it feels like it's a lot of talent. Like you're one of the only people that I've met that really gets the business side. And that's always like, I've always looked at you and your brother very differently, because
I think I was one of the youngest people to raise $1 million for a company.
Yeah.
I raised $1 million at like 18 years old.
Damn.
like talking to you about business, you want to talk about business. Talking to him about business is like trying to pull
Kill me.
He hates it.
Literally kill me.
He hates it.
I hate it. I hate everything.
That's
about
Which
it.
is, by the way, which is fine, because he's a straight up, he's a pure talent. He's a pure talent. You're more of a hybrid between the two, and you have really strong business sense. I learned that about you early on.
Yeah, and I think that's what what I love about being your brothers, because I think we're just scratching the surface of, like, I feel like what we just did like the past 4 years was like a warm up for what we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
And as a duo, I think we can seriously like change the space.
For
forever,
sure. Even more than we already have.
Yeah, I think we already have, but that's what I'm saying. I felt like it was just like a warm up.
You said to me once. I think we were both drunk. I don't know if you meant this. You said,
Well, maybe you were
I don't
drunk.
drink.
Yeah,
I don't
he
drink.
was,
Jake
he was
doesn't drink.
drinking apple juice.
Continue.
anyways, you said you're going to be managing me in 10 years. Do you remember saying that?
I do remember saying that, and yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Where's Jeff going to be?
I think like I don't know. I guess I don't know. Here, the way but again, it's like Jay-Z, right? It's like Jay-Z owns Rock Nation, which manages like all these different people. But like, if I was my own manager, I would be so good at it. Cause like,
Why don't you do it?
You kind of are right now, aren't?
no. But like because I have to, because I'm doing like the talent stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But who is the clone version? Like, who is the other version of me? It's you.
Yeah, there's two of
So
us.
if like if I was your manager, I would be so good at it. And like, it was an interesting thought that I had in my mind. Because,
Yeah, you
like,
blew my mind when you said it. I was like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, you get stuff done, dude. If you're able to raise $1 million by 18, like, dude,
it pays off. Look at
things.
Look at this net worth, 19 mil. That's what it says your net worth is. Hey, congrats, kid.
Thanks, man.
How old are you again?
according to the
I'm
wealthy
22.
gorilla.
Look at the wealth. Look at almost as credible as famous birthday. Oh shit!
19 million.
I can assure everyone watching this is not true. Please put me back on Google Preferred, and maybe I can get here. This might be.
You
true.
always
This
know
might
it.
be
You
true.
always know it.
I was gonna say I think that looks.
You always know it's credible when they put an exclamation point at the end of it. 19 million, only 23 years old.
Oh man, you were gonna make me zoom into this one
No, you
minor
don't have
thing.
to.
No, I mean, all right, you pointed it out.
It's not.
curious.